Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and no, we're not coming to you live, we're coming to you recorded, simply because my internet will not cooperate with me today and do a stream. So we are going to record this for you and send you the link. Now, if you have any questions at all, my email will be below. All you need to do is email me. Make sure you put in the description that it's concerning a class, and which class, so that I can go and figure out what's going on over there. If you don't put which class and what it's all about, then I will have no clue. Alright, this is what we're going to make. We're going to make this little exploding box. It's a cascading mini album exploding box. This is the part that cascades, just like that. So we're going to make this. Now, I don't know, I think your paper's the same color as mine. I'm not sure. I didn't have a kit, so I just grabbed some paper. But I think yours is green, if I'm not mistaken. You have a piece that is 12 by 11 and a quarter. Now on the 12-inch side, so on the long side, put the 12-inch side at the top of your scoreboard. You're going to score at 2 3/4, at 5 1/2, at 8 1/4, and 11. Okay, that is 2 3/4, 5 1/2, 8 1/4, and 11. Then you're going to turn it one turn, and I just choose to turn to the left. I mean, you can turn whichever way you want. You're going to score at 2 3/4 all the way down. You're going to score at 8 1/2 all the way down. So that's 2 3/4 and 8 1/2. Then you're going to go back to 1 3/4, and you're going to score down just to the second score line. So go back to 1 3/4 and score down just to your second score line, right there. Okay. So I have to correct myself. On this one, it does matter which way you turn it. You need to turn to the left and make sure that your smaller score line is at the top and not the bottom, because you're going to score down just to that second score line, and if you turned it the other way, you would be scoring incorrect. So when you have it this way at the 12-inch and you get through scoring, make sure you turn it to the left. Alright, 1 3/4 down to the second score line, and then 9 1/2 down to the second score line. Okay, so let's see if you can see those. Yep. So see, we scored here and right here, just down to that second score line. So make sure that this little piece is at the top when you start to do those partial scoring, and not the bottom. This is going to be what we're going to call the bottom. Now that is your scoring, so you can put the scoreboard away for now. Go ahead and fold and burnish your score lines. Don't fold and burnish the partial score line. Just fold and burnish the full score lines. This is a very thick cardstock if you got this green, and I think you did. It's more like a chipboard almost. Okay, so that is all your folding. Now, when we're going to trim this away, this is what we're going to trim it and make it look like right here. And I've got this little drawing that I will take a picture of and send it along with your email for the link. So there's the picture of all of our score lines. And then when we cut away, this is what it's going to look like right here. It's going to look like this. So I'm going to go ahead while I've got this laying down on here, and I'm going to mark the places that we're going to cut away. We're going to cut that. We're going to cut that. We're going to cut there, there, this, that one, and that one. So those are the places that we're going to cut away. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, or I will have a shot of this sent with your email, then you can look at this and lay it on your paper if you want to print it out, and then you can see which places you want to cut away. Now I always start with this little score line facing me. So this score line is closest to me, And then what I'm going to do is right here on this partial score line, I'm going to make sure that I cut all of that away. That's why we did the partial score line there, just so we would know where to cut. So that's cut away. And then on this side, you're going to do the same thing. So cut that away. Like that. Now you're going to cut this little box away right here and this little box away right here. You're going to leave this box and that box. So let's go ahead and cut those out. And then if you just fold that back, then you can cut right straight up through there on that one. Like that. And then just turn it to the opposite side and do the same thing. Got that. That. And then if you'll just fold that back, fold that piece back, then you can cut right down that score line to cut that away. Like that. Then we've got one more box to cut away. So we need to cut that one and that one. And I'm cutting out the score line. That makes it a little bit easier to fold, so I'm just cutting that score line out. Alright, that is what we have right now. Now we need to make sure that we open up these little tabs up here. So you need to cut down that score line right there. It's going to be our little tab, and then you can wedge in just a little bit on both sides. I'm going to cut that a little bit more right there. Okay, then on this side you need to do the same thing. You need to open up your little tab, cut that, do a little wedge, and a little wedge. Just like that. So that is what we have. And we can just look at this and make sure we cut everything correct. Alright, that is all that you need to do as far as cutting and scoring on this part. Now you can start putting down your mats. So let's find our mats. You should have, I don't know how many, I think 8. Yeah. You should have 8 mats that are 5.5 by 2.5. And you can choose how you want to put your mats down. You can choose which ones you want for the front, which ones you want for the back. That's up to you. I think I want this one on the top. See, this is going to be the top right here. It's going to fold up just like this. Let's see if I can show you so you'll know how to put your mats down. It's going to fold up like that. So this is going to be your top. This is going to be the front. That's going to be the back. So if you want if your paper is directional, which very few of these are, but if you have a directional like this one, then you'll need to put your paper running this way. This would need to be your top, and this need to be your bottom of your paper. So just choose which ones you want to put on the top and the front. I think I'll put that one on the top, and I may just go ahead and put this one on the front like that. So you can go ahead and put your mats down, and then we will come back and get the other part done. Now you have 8 mats, and so you've got 4 for the outside and 4 for the inside. So you can just choose which way you want to lay them out. I think I'll lay mine out like that. All of these come from the same paper collection, so they've all got the same colors in them, so they all match up. Then you should have a little piece that goes right here on the front flap that is 5.5 by 3/4. So you can put that one right there. Then you have 2 pieces that are 2.5 by 2.5, and they're going to go right here on that, on the end. So don't put them on the inside. Make sure that you put them on the outside. This is the inside of your box. This is the outside. Make sure that they go on the outside. Don't need those on the inside because that's where we're going to put our little cascading part. So it doesn't have to have a mat on it. Okay, so we have all of our mats on, I think. Let's see. Yep, that's all of our mats. Now, you also have a piece that is scalloped like this that we cut for you. That piece is going to go right there. You don't have to put that on there if you don't like the looks of that, but we went ahead and cut it for you anyway because it was in my prototype. But that's up to you. If you want to put something else there, you can, but we went ahead and cut this little piece for you. And just kind of center it up. I just eyeball it. Now you also have a little pocket piece. This is 5.5 by 1.5, and it should be cut out of the same cardstock as the outside. That's going to go right there. That's a little pocket. Now we didn't punch your little pull for you because we figured that's something that you could do if you wanted to. Some people don't want to put a little pull in there. I'm going to put a little tiny pull in mine, I think. Just like that. And that's just a little, I don't know, 3/8 inch, 5/8 inch punch. So that's going to go down right there. That's going to be your pocket. So only glue, and I'm going to see, I think I'm going to make this side the front. Only glue right down the side, across the bottom, and then right up that side. That's all you need to glue right there. And then you can just center it up from one end to the other. Just like that. Now you have 2 tag pieces, and we're just calling these tags. You can put these in any way that you want. You don't have to put them in if you don't want to. This one is made to slide right down in there. Now you can put a ribbon in the top, you can round the corners, that's up to you. We just left it where you could do what you wanted to with it. Then you have another pocket piece that is 2 inches by 2.5, and it's going to go right down here at the bottom. It's going to go that way right there. And I'm just going to put another little pull in mine. I'm going to put it down right there. So we're only going to glue 2 sides and the bottom. And we're going to put that down right there, and it should fit right on your mat that you just put down there. And then this little piece just slides right down in there. It can be your little journal spot or whatever that you might want to use it for. Now you do have a little piece for your mat pocket if you want to cover it. I don't think I'm going to cover mine. I kind of like the looks of that since we have that busy background and then the solid on the front. But I think this was included in your kit anyway. The reason I say I think is because I had to cut a kit for myself. I'm not sure, but I think it's on your list. This is cut at 5 1/4 by 1 1/4. Let's see, yeah. It's included on your list. It says inside pattern paper mat for above pocket, which it should say for on pocket. But you would probably have to trim yours down just a little bit if you want to put it on that pocket. But I'm not going to put mine on. I didn't on my other one, and I'm going to leave mine like that. Okay, you have 2 little pieces that are 3/4 by 2 1/2. And these are going to be the mats for these little side pieces right here and right here. So you can just decide which way you want to turn them. And I think I'm just going to let my balloons be outward. Just like that. Alright, that is all of your mats and all of your pieces that you need to cover your pockets and everything. Now you're ready for your little stack pieces. I know you got 2 stacks of paper. You should have got some pink ones and some white ones. Now the pink goes with this paper collection. It didn't necessarily go with the green, but we had to use what we could find and what we could get our hands on. Because like I told you, with this COVID, we're having a hard time getting anything in, so we had to scrounge just to find enough of one color to send out to everybody. I have already went ahead and covered some of mine, but I'm going to show you how to do this one. Your pink one is going to be your bottom part, and then your white one is going to go on the top for your mat right there for your little photo or whatever you want to use it for. So on your pink one, what you need to do is you need to put it in your scoreboard. And let's see, it is 2 5/8 by 3. I'll make sure that's the size I've got written on here, or if I cut mine wrong. No, it's 2 5/8 by 2 7/8, and that's what size this one is. I looked at it wrong. On the 2 7/8 inch side, you need to score at 1/4 inch. Now make sure that it's on the 2 7/8 inch side, the long side. You need to score at 1/4. That's what's going to make our cascading part. So then just go ahead and fold and burnish that. See, you have that right there. And now this little piece is going to glue down on it. Now you can round these corners, make decorative corners on here, anything that you want. On mine, I did some rounded corners, I think, on them, but I'm not going to do that on this one. But see, I rounded 2 of the corners on that one, but I'm not going to do it on this one. I'm just going to leave them as is. So while I'm putting this one together, Melina's going to do a drawing for a prize, and we're going to give away the America the Beautiful paper pad, a big thing of bling, and a Heathron marker. Okay.
Alrighty. And I did change out the names. This is a whole new Rubbermaid bowl full of names. And Alicia Kramer,
That's
Look
spelled
at
like
there.
our
And
Alicia,
spelled
isn't it?
just like our Alicia.
That's spelled like my daughter Alicia. That's how she spells her name. Okay, so we're just going to glue this little white piece down. And the white piece is the same size, so it shouldn't, you can glue it either way. Should be fine. That's what you're going to do right there. And like I said, I've already done the rest of mine. If you want to go ahead and do yours, you can pause the video, put them all together, and then come back and we will start laying these down. Alright, to glue these down, what you're going to do is this little lip right here. You see how that's folded up? You're going to make sure that it's folded. Let me look at my other one so that we can have it for a prototype. Okay, you see that we put the little lip down facing inward, and the bottom, we're going to call this the bottom of the little mat. This is the top with our paper on. So we're going to take this little lip, and right here where the seam goes, or where that score line goes, we're going to glue that first one right up against that. Make sure that you get your first one straight. If you get the first one straight, all the rest of them will fall in place. But you have to get that first one straight. So if your score line is straight, then you should have no problems. So we're going to put our glue right there. Lay it right up against that score line, not over it. Just make sure that it goes up against it so that it'll still fold up. And then press that down. So that is your first little cascading part put on there. So you can go ahead and put 11 on this side and 11 on that side. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue mine, and you can either watch or just fast forward it if you know how to do this. When you're putting the second one down, just make sure that you butt it right up against where that first one ended. So let me hold it up and I'll show you. See how this little tab is butted right up against that. That's what you want. That's the only way that you're going to be able to get 11 out through here, is to do it that way. Now I'm going to show you something. If you get to the end and you feel like that they've gone just a little bit crooked, which is not unusual, a lot of times mine do too. This one went a little bit crooked. You can always even it up with this last one. Instead of putting it right up against that, you may need to move it out on one end or the other just to even that up. It's not going to show either way, but that's just how you can even it up if you're a little bit OCD like I am. Just put it down there, and then if you need to move it out one way or the other, you can, just to make sure that your little gap out here is the same all the way down. It's still going to line up with the others. As you can see, that lines up perfectly, but now I've got the same amount of space at the end out here as I did when I started, if that makes any sense. Now you can do the other side. Alright, last one. So there is your little cascading album right there. And this is the way the box goes together. Pull that up. Uh-oh, we forgot to glue this. We can't put it together yet. Let's glue the top. Put the glue on your little tabs. And then, just as you always do when you're putting boxes together, just make sure that you match up your little score line and the edge of the paper. Press it together. And then do the same over here. I have to turn it around so I can see it. Now we've got it where we can put it together. Okay, pull this part up. This goes over and it closes up just like that. And I need to put a little bit more glue right in there. Okay, so there is your box, and you don't have to have anything to hold it together. It should be nice and tight and it stays together on its own. Now if you have one side that's doing this, it looks like it's collapsing in, that's just because you pushed it a little bit too far in when you was closing it. Just open it back up and pull that one back out and you've got it fixed. Just like that. Alright, now we can put our little decorations on top. You should have two pieces that say document. I have one because my son-in-law didn't cut me another one. So I have one. I'm going to blame it all on him. And then you should have just some little butterflies and different things. I think, let's see, what all did we send? I think we sent some butterflies. I don't have a kit, so I had to just kind of pull some stuff together. But I think you've got some different size butterflies that you can put on here. Let's see if I've got another one. Yeah. And then, I don't even think you've got an ephemera piece. I think you've got some bling in yours. I don't have bling in mine, but I think you've got bling in yours. Let's see what it says. It says 5 large bling pieces, and then some tiny bling pieces, 2 word document, and 5 various sizes of butterflies. So that's what you should have in yours. I don't have that in mine because my son-in-law didn't put me a kit together.
He is not in the room to defend himself.
Yeah, he's not in the room, so I can talk about him. No, he did help us cut and do a lot of putting together, so. And then I didn't tell him to make me a kit. And then last night when I started trying to prep for my classes, I thought, well, I guess you might need a kit. So I had to try to scrounge me one up real quick. So I put document across like this, but now you could put it down any way that you want. You can put it straight across if you want. It doesn't matter. But if you've got 2 documents, what you can do to make it look a little bit like it's raised is glue those 2 pieces together. So glue the 2 words together and then put it down, and it'll make it look a little bit like it's a raised piece. I was good to find this piece. I found it attached to something else that it shouldn't have been. Okay, so that is what we have on there. And then you can just take your little butterflies and do whatever you want to with them. And your little bling pieces. Now I put inside here, I put 2 little bling pieces on that. That's up to you. This that I put around here is just a wink of Stella. So if you want to do that, you can. You don't have to. And then on the outside, I just put some little butterflies and put some bling down the center of them. This actually doesn't even match this paper collection for me, but I'm going to put it down anyway. It comes from a different paper collection. It's got the same colors in it, so we'll go with it. So you can put them in whatever area that you want to. You don't even have to put butterflies on it. You can just do whatever with those butterflies if you don't like butterflies. Put something else on there. Let's see. Let's put another one down here. He's flying off. I don't think I'll put that other big one on there. Then let's see if I can find some little bling pieces. He's in luck. I won't kill him today because I found some. I don't know if they're the right size or not, but I think we'll use them anyway. Alright, what color am I going to put? I guess I'll put the white ones since they're smaller. So I'm just going to put some right down the center of my butterflies. It just decorates your butterflies up a little bit. And on the large one I put 3, and then on the small ones I usually just put 1. And I like for their wings to stay up. That's why I only glue it in the center. Just glue them in the center if you want your wings to stay upward. That one's going to be stubborn. There we go. So that's a little box. And then if you want to take some of that, oh, I think I just popped a butterfly off. Get back on there, butterfly. Now if you want to take a couple of these black pieces of bling that you have and put them on the inside, you can. Or you can save them for your stash. They're yours. There we go. Alright, that project is finished. That is it. That is all you have to do to it. And there is your little cascading mini album box. Just like that. Quick and easy. Did we give away another prize yet? Okay, we're going to give away another prize. So Melina's here. She's going to draw for us. What are we going to give away, Melina?
We are almost giving away the exact same as in the beginning, just a different color dual tip marker. That one don't want to let go.
Let's see who was stubborn.
Shirley Mathia. I'm sure I'm butchering your last name. I apologize.
Maybe Matthew? Matthew? I don't know. Shirley, you know who you are. You saw your name there. You know that I butcher names all the time. I'm terrible with names. I've had people even send me gifts and they will put in parentheses how to say their name because they know how bad I am. But I think that is it for our project for this class. And like I said, I do apologize that I'm not able to do a live stream. I wanted to do one. I really did, because it's been a long time since we've done a live stream with you guys. But my internet, I'm not at Maymay's. I'm at my house. So my internet just wouldn't cooperate with us. So I hate that, but maybe one day out here in the country they'll get a fast enough internet that we'll be able to do some live streams with you guys. If you have any questions about this project, please email us. That email is in the link below this video. Make sure that you put what class this is. So for this one, you want to put Exploding Box Cascading Album. Is that what it's called? Exploding Box Cascading Mini Album. Put that in the description so that I'll know what class you're talking about. Alright, we will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for taking this class. Bye-bye.